They respect us even less now, don't they? Now under Obama, we're not just some country to be taken seriously and maybe feared. We're just an international joke. But this is the point that needs to be made for Jen and for these other young people in the audience who might not have lived through the Reagan years. There are other significant differences here, and I'll get to them. But the one thing you need to know that's very important about Reagan, because it's a trait that all great presidents have, and Obama doesn't have it, is that Reagan spoke in plain language and did what he said he was going to do. He had the respect of the entire Western world, and he was feared by America's enemies for that simple reason. He said what he meant, and he did what he said. He didn't issue threats idly. He didn't couch his intentions in Harvard doublespeak. He didn't say one thing on Sunday just to say the opposite on Monday, as Obama has done here. Reagan was clear. He was direct. He was straightforward. And our enemies knew that he wasn't afraid to use our military or our resources to defend America and look out for our interests. And Reagan was going to address the problem. Gaddafi's the problem. We'll kill Gaddafi. We won't, take out his tanks and, sort of poop around on the edges. We'll take out Gaddafi. And it's why, this is why, after the Iranians toyed with and taunted a weak Jimmy Carter, we keep making these analogies between Obama and Carter. The White House wants to make analogies between Obama and Reagan. He's not a Reagan. He's a Carter. The Iranians toyed with and taunted Jimmy Carter for nearly his entire term. They held hostages of ours for 444 days under Carter. It's no mistake the Iranians released those hostages literally on Ronald Reagan's inauguration day. They knew there's a new sheriff in town, and he talks sort of like a cowboy, and they knew he's just enough of a tough guy that he's not going to put up with our BS. The Iranians feared for what was coming if they continued to hold those hostages with Reagan in power. Same with Gaddafi. Gaddafi was dabbling in terrorism against the U.S., so Reagan went right after him, bombed his palace, nearly killed him. Gaddafi said, holy crap, this guy's not someone I can push around. He's not going to run to the UN and demand sanctions. He's not going to tap dance around with NATO. He came right at me and he almost killed me. Gaddafi got the message, and he realized for his own self-preservation he needed to rethink his saber-rattling against the U.S. And he did. He behaved for over 20 years. Obama's not Reagan. Obama's a vacillator. He's a weak waffler, and Gaddafi knows it. He's been watching him on the international stage. He knows it. But then there are also some important differences between these two actions. In the 80s, Gaddafi had complete control of his country, and he was really looking to antagonize the West, and he got slapped back, but he was the aggressor initially. This time, he's in a struggle for control of his own country, and he's not going to give up easily, but moreover, he is not, in this conflict with America, the aggressor. At least he doesn't view himself that way. It's Obama and the West that is intruding on his business. We have no vital interest in Libya. We're intruding on their business. They're not. Gaddafi was not threatening us. In fact, he hasn't been a problem for the U.S. since the Reagan years, with the exception of the Lockerbie bombing. But the biggest reason that this action by Obama is not going to bring Gaddafi to heel, as it did in the 80s, is that Gaddafi knows Obama isn't Reagan. He knows Obama's weak and weak-willed. Obama's told him, I'm not coming after you. Gaddafi knew Reagan will kill me, and if I anger him enough, he's not going to stop until he kills me.